All right, Kaley Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory doesn't live with her husband. Kaley and Carl Cook have been married for about a year now, but still don't sleep under the same roof. She says, quote, "We have a very unconventional marriage. We are not together every single day. It works well for us." What do you think about that, Jeff?
I don't know. I guess whatever works for you, but for me, it's like if you're going to live that kind of life, why get married in the first place? I guess if it works for them, I can't tell them how to live their marriage. I do things in my marriage that aren't conventional to other people, but for me, it just wouldn't work. I wouldn't like it.
Well, I think it works, and it works for a lot of different people.
Well, Eric, you did it for a while.
Well, yeah, my husband and I, when we were engaged, lived apart, but in different states. But I was raised this way. My dad lived in a different state than we did.
How long did that go on?
Interesting.
For over 15 years.
Wow.
My parents are just now living in the same house again.
Was their end goal always to come back in the same house? It's just So same with Kaley Cuoco. Their end goal is to come back together.
This happens a lot, especially in the energy industry. People can't live where their families are because that's not they have to travel for work.
Right.
So I think it's a lot more common than people think, and people make it work because it's more economical to have that situation than to be in the same city.
Well, I think just in the way economics lay out now, a lot of people are like, mom's going on a business trip. She might be gone 10 days. My mom traveled. She was a single mom at the time. She was not married, but my mom would go, and when I was in high school, she'd leave for 2 weeks at a time and be working. If you're an over-the-road truck driver and you're hauling from Maine to San Diego, you're going to be gone for a minute. So I think this applies to a lot more people than you think, and I think a lot of people could figure out ways, and maybe if they could suggest ways to stay close to your partner even if you're not physically.
And I think it's the communication. Like Gwyneth Paltrow, and Tori's not here. You know how our Tori Shulman can't stand Gwyneth, but
I love her.
I know you do. So you might really appreciate this of Gwyneth Paltrow. So right now, she just came forward saying that her and her new husband, I think they're just newly married, about a year, Brad Falchuk, they decided to not live together because they want to slowly introduce the blending of their families because they both have children from different partners, and so they're choosing not to live together for a completely different reason, to slowly blend the family. I think that's a communicative, very responsible thing to do. It may not work for you, but I think once you really break it down, it goes, that makes sense.
And just think, season 10, when we're on location in Hawaii for 2 weeks, you'll have to tell Jordan.
It's not 2 weeks. I'm saying, if this is a year. If I was by myself for a year away from my wife, I would start living my own lifestyle and forget that I was married for a while. That's what I'm saying.
That's honest.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
That's what happens.
Yep, I think you're right. For some couples. For me, I'd be the same way.